Thank you, sirs. Dignitaries on the dais, those connected virtually to this program, office bearers of IANCAS Mumbai, and Dr. K.R. Sivan, Chairman IANCAS South Regional Chapter. He has also arrived over here. Who are part of this gathering, dear delegates, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I extend my good morning to all of you. So to begin with, honoring our guests, I request my team to honor dignitaries on the dais by presenting first of all a flower bouquet. Amrita. Go ahead. Thank you, Amrita and team. As the light is symbol of brightness and it expels the darkness, it is Indian tradition to begin an event by lighting up the lamp. We'll do the same. I request our chief guests and other dignitaries on the dais to inaugurate the symposium by lighting the lamp of knowledge and wisdom, and I request Secretary USUC 2022 to assist them. Thank you, sirs. To welcome ahead artists from this center, they are going to present a welcome song. I request Sis Dhanashri Vaidya, Sis Neha Sen to start Swagat Geet. This music is composed by local artists from our DI center, Mr. T.J. Rojan, and it is written by Shri Amit Kulshrestha.
अभिवंदनम अभिवादनम आपका शुभ आगमन स्वागतं सुस्वागतं 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 शब्द सुवासित सुमन समर्पित सिक्त नयन के दीप है अर्पित शब्द सुवासित सुमन समर्पित सिक्त नयन के दीप है अर्पित अरुण तिलक श्रद्धा से लगाए गाए मंगलाचरणम् अभिवंदनम् अभिवादनम् स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् अभिवंदनम् अभिवादनम् स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् शहनाई ले आया संदर मृदंग बजाए हृदय की धड़कन शहनाई ले आया संदर मृदंग बजाए हृदय की धड़कन मालिक मन मयूर बोले शरणागत शरणागतम् अभिवंदनम् अभिवादनम् स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् अभिवंदनम् अभिवादनम् स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् अभ्यागत बन गुणीजन आए ज्ञान की गंगा साथ लाए अभ्यागत बन गुणीजन आए ज्ञान की गंगा साथ लाए कलश कलश विज्ञान से सिंचित हो वसुंधरा सुंदरम अभिवंदनम अभिवादनम स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् अभिवंदनम् अभिवादनम् स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् दर्शन मानो सफल हो पूजन मधुबन में कोयल की गुंजन दर्शन मानो सफल हो पूजन मधुबन में कोयल की गुंजन अंधियारे में दीप जलानव पथ प्रदीप कर प्रभाकरम अभिवंदनम अभिवादनम स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् अभिवंदनम् अभिवादनम् स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् मेधा में भाभा का चिंतन वाणी में मानस का मंथन मेधा में भाभा का चिंतन वाणी में मानस का मंथन अणु अणु मिल कर ये गाए जय भारती जय भारतम जय भारती जय भारतम अभिवंदनम अभिवादनम स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् अभिवंदनम् अभिवादनम् आपका शुभ आगमन स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् आपका शुभ आगमन स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् आपका शुभ आगमन स्वागतं सुस्वागतं सुस्वागतं सुस्वागतम्
Thank you. Moving ahead further with the proceedings of this inaugural session, may I call Shri R.B. Bhatt sir, Chairman T.A.P.S Tarapur chapter and convener of this symposium, to present welcome address and briefing about the aims and objectives of the symposium. Shri R.B. Bhatt sir, please.
Today's chief guest, Sri Vivek Basing, Director Nuclear Fuels Group, BRC Mumbai. Site Director NPCL, Shri Vinit Kumar Sharma ji, Pradhan ji, Deputy C, NRB Tarapur, Shri Dani, and my dear friends. For this symposium, I welcome all those who have come here today and who are connected virtually from various DA units, delegates of this symposium, and my dear colleagues. Good morning and my warm welcome to all of you in the inaugural ceremony of 3rd DAE BRNS National Symposium on recent advances in nuclear fuel cycle activities, that is USUC-2022, which is being hosted by INCA's Tarapur chapter in association with NRB BARC and NPCL Tarapur and sponsored by Board of Research in Nuclear Sciences, Mumbai. In the context of nuclear energy, Tarapur has a historical importance. Country's first nuclear power plant, that is BWR T.A.P.S 1 and 2, was set up at Tarapur in the early 60s. Further, first of its kind, like 540 megawatt twin PSWRs, are serving the nation since 2005. DAE Center Tarapur houses several key plants of BRC, including reprocessing, waste management, fuel fabrication, and the under construction INRP, etc. Thus, Tarapur is a leading flagship of DAE. The scientists and engineers are continuously engaged in fulfilling the commitments of the department in all 3 stages of nuclear power program. In view of developments in the nuclear energy field, it is utmost necessary to revisit the various aspects as well as recent advancements in the field of nuclear fuel cycle. Taking this into consideration, INCAS and many other professional organizations, they are playing a vital role. INCA's Tarapur chapter started its activities in the year 2008 at DAE Center Tarapur with an objective to spread nuclear energy awareness among the nearby public and to provide a platform to the nuclear chemists and scientists of this center to estimate and deliberate their scientific and technological advancements. The association has been proactive in conducting public outreach programs like lectures on nuclear energy, workshops in the nearby schools and colleges. Further, INCAS has been organizing thematic lecture and theme meetings and symposium on nuclear fuel cycle since its inception at Tarapur. The NUFUC series of symposia started by INCAS Tarapur is the most apt event for the nuclear fuel cycle scientists and technologists, and which is gaining overwhelming popularity over the recent past years. This symposium is a perennial event, first organized in the year 2015 and second one in the year 2018. The 2-day program of the symposium comprises of total 7 technical sessions covering various important aspects of nuclear fuel cycle activities, deliberating topics like advanced reprocessing techniques, nuclear waste management, fuel and related materials, quality control and analytical applications, separation science and membrane techniques, design and construction of nuclear fuel cycle facilities. We are thankful for the overwhelming response from scientists and engineers from various DAE units, submitting 94 contributory research papers. It is a matter of privilege to have about 17 invited talks by eminent scientists and experts from their respective fields. Apart from this, there are 8 oral presentations from contributory research papers and 86 poster presentations in online and offline mode in this symposium. I welcome Dr. Shri Vivek Basin, Director Nuclear Fuels Group, who has gladly accepted our invitation for gracing this inaugural ceremony of this symposium as chief guest and later to deliver a keynote talk. I gratefully acknowledge the patron, Shri K.N. Vyas, Chairman AEC and Secretary DAE, and Dr. A.K. Mohanty, Director BARC, esteemed members of National Advisory Committee and the Organizing Committee of NUFUC 22 for the support and guidance in organizing this symposium. We are also grateful to Shri K.V. Ravi, Chief Executive NRB, for extending his support in for conducting this symposium. We are grateful to Shri Vinit Kumar Sharma ji, Site Director T.A.P.S, for extending support and providing the infrastructural resources for organizing the symposium. I'm also thankful to have the time-to-time guidance and support of Shri Pradhan ji, Deputy CE NRB and Chairman Organizing Committee NUFUC 22. I have immense pleasure in extending my warm welcome to all the delegates and participants attending NUFUC 22 Symposium at Tarapur. I am sure that the invited talks and oral poster presentations will provide an excellent platform to the participants for exchange of information and decent updates on the nuclear fuel cycle activities. I express my sincere gratitude to BARC and NPCL Tarapur for co-organizing this symposium. I thank Dae-Brns Mumbai for providing the financial support to organize this symposium. Finally, I would like to thank T.A.P.S Mumbai, entire team of T.A.P.S Tarapur chapter, and others who have contributed directly or indirectly in the successful organization of this symposium. Thank you, and wish you all a scientifically stimulating and fruitful NUFUC 22. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhatt sir. May I now request Shri Sanjay Pradhan sir to present the inaugural remarks about the NUFUC 2022.
Good morning, everybody. Shri Bhatin, Shri Bhatt, Shri Dani, all peoples who have come from different places, all the dignitaries, in-caste members, everybody. The NUFUC has been patronized by NPCL, BRC and in-caste Tarapur. And if you see, the fuel cycle is the link which is connecting all the divisions or the plants practically of say BRC or DA. You may say right from mining to waste management, fuel cycle is involving each and everybody. Anyway, reactor are the main peoples who are using and then giving feed to recycle. So this is a very relevant for all the plants which are existing at Tarapur. And the society, in case I will say ki they are going bit out of their domain on our request, so that some scientific activities can be projected in Tarapur, because there are very few societies in Tarapur which are actively working. So I will say thank you to NCAS for that, and continue this approach in future also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Vinit Kumar Sharma, sir, Site Director NPCL Tarapur, to convey the introductory message to delegates and participants of this symposium. Shri Vinit Kumar Sharma, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Geetin. Today's guest of honor, Shri Vivek Bhasin ji, Deputy CE NRB Pradhan sir, Dani sir, convener of this program and PD, Shri Bhatt ji, and Vinit Mittal ji. All the senior delegates and senior officials of the DAE fraternity, all the scientists and technocrats who have come here, a very good morning to you all. Actually, when this program was being conducted, that time Dr. Geetin Singh has come and he told me the outline of this program. Then I came to know that out of many countries which are harnessing the nuclear energy, very few countries have got this capability to uh, have the complete fuel cycle in their possession, and we are one of them. And as just now it was being told, that this is a platform where everybody linked with the fuel cycle come together. And as government is putting more and more, they are thrust on nuclear power, and they have shown confidence and sanctioned a fleet mode of reactor, as just now Mr. Pradhan, Dr. Pradhan sir was telling, that Nuclear Power Corporation is the main consumer of the fuel. So once the advancement in that side is going on, where fuel consumption is increasing, definitely it puts pressure on both the front end and the back end cycles also. So equivalent advancements have to take place in both the ends. And what better platform can be to have all the relevant persons of the field at one platform and discuss the advancement in this fuel cycle, share their experiences, and because now as the challenges are increasing, we have to come up with new, simple, and cost-effective methods in each and every cycle. And of course, as every aspect of the nuclear fuel cycle goes, the nuclear secure safety is of paramount importance. So keeping that in mind, we have to make advances, and such symposium, I'm glad that they will go a long way in harnessing the synergy of the DA fraternity, where all experts come together, and as Mr. Bhatt was pointing out, so many invited talks, so many paper presentations, definitely they will enrich each and everybody's knowledge, and the experience which they share, it will be very helpful for the department in the future. So I wish the 2-day session, which will be going on, a very good success, and hope that INCAS Tarapur chapter, with the sponsorship of BNRS, will continue to hold such things which will be beneficial to the organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving ahead. Tarapur Yankas chapter is honored to have our chief guest, Shri Vivek Bhasin sir, to have here. May I now request our chief guest, Shri Vivek Bhasin sir, to present the inaugural address of this symposium and his message to the delegates of this symposium. Shri Vivek Bhasin sir, please.
Good morning to all, respected dignitaries on dais, Shri Sanjay Pradhan, Deputy C, NRB, Shri Vineet Kumar Sharma, Site Director, now is also Designated Director Operations in PCI, just now I learned, Shri Bhatt, Shri Dani, Shri Mittal, Shri Jitendra Singh. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the organizers and participants, basically the employees here, of NRB as well as NPCIL, for taking a bold step to organize this symposium. Since last 2 years, as we know, all such things, there was a cap or curtailed owing to the COVID pandemic, and also it was very heartening to know that even during the peak of the pandemic, in fact, entire period, I understand, all the plants of NRB as well as NPCIL, they were operating to full capacity. There was no diminishing of efforts on that front. And not only at Tarapur, similarly NPCIL plants at all over India and NRB plants at Kalpakam, etc. So it's a very heartening thing, and such symposiums specifically are very useful for young people, and that too at remote sites. And in fact, that is a sort of booster dose for them, that such things should keep on happening recurrently. Now, I fully agree with Mr. Bhatt, as well as Vineet Sharma Saab, that this is a very apt place to have the conference on nuclear fuel cycle, This was actually the birthplace of first nuclear power plant, that is T.A.P.S 1 and 2. And not only that, whatever was happening at small scale in the laboratories of BARC, all those things started getting scaling up at Tarapur in terms of recycling, waste management, and of course the advanced, that is plutonium MOX-based fuel fabrication, etc. Now coming to the topic of this conference, it's a very, it's in fact very suitable to the Indian context. As you might have heard, I think very recently, or maybe I think about few months back, our Honorable Prime Minister, he was speaking in COP conference 26 at Finland, that India by 2050, more than 50% of the energy will be green energy. This means there will be a mass scale wiping out of the coal-fired or the diesel-fired power stations. Diesel-fired are very small, of course, captive type, mostly coal-fired, fuel-based. So out of that, about 50% will be renewables. This means there is a huge leftover 50%, remaining 50%. That gap has to be filled by the, like nuclear, etc. That will be a very big challenge. And as there is an increasing thrust on the clean energy or minimizing the coal-based, by the way, of course, one more data you keep in mind. In the year 2021, that is the previous year, India alone released 1.4 billion tons of CO2 and copious amount of sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxides and particulate matter through power stations alone. That's a big penalty on atmosphere. And there was a talk earlier whether the coal will last or not. Now that question does not remain. Despite the fact coal may be there, may not be there, the pollution and the demanding conditions of atmosphere will preclude the basically large-scale usage of fossil-fired plants in future. So nuclear being one of the best base load operation plant is a very suitable choice. And in Indian context, of course, as you know, founding fathers had envisaged this and launched the 3-stage program. Of course, that was specifically aimed at the fact that the known reserves of uranium in India are small as compared to the thorium. So, and as compared to the elsewhere in the world. So, if we want to launch our program only on the uranium available in India, then that cannot be a very large program without going to the 3-stage program. So 3-stage program comprises of, specifically for young people I'm telling, that in stage 1 that uranium-based reactors. So while generating the power, they also generate plutonium for the 2nd stage. And once the 2nd stage starts, that has to be further multiplied. Going by the current configurations, it cannot multiply, that is based on MOX fuel. So one has to somewhere shift over within 2nd stage to the metallic fuel-based program, where large amount of breeding takes place. So that fuel cycle, of course, nothing significant has happened. All the small amount of research is taking place at IGCAR. Some metallic uranium is being made by BRC, NFG BRC, and supplying to them. That is a very small scale program. Without going to that, large scale multiplication is not possible. So this means based on our uranium, we will end up nowhere. So metal-based program. And after sufficient amount of plutonium is available, until unless that happens, we just cannot think of breeding the thorium to fissile, uranium-233. And of course, for those, the configurations are concepts under conceptual stages. It could be fast reactors for that also. It could be molten salt breeder reactor. There are many things. Many options are there. Nothing is frozen as well. Now, in between, of course, one thing good happened, that India and international community agreed for the civil nuclear cooperation deal. With that, the things eased out a bit. We could start importing the uranium, which was denied because India did not sign the nuclear non-proliferation treaty, and things improved quite considerably. So But that will not be the end, because if worldwide the shifting is into green energy, or that is like nuclear, then a situation may arise and countries may stop giving uranium to India because they themselves would like to use that. So we have to stand independently on this issue. Now for this program to continue, nuclear fuel cycle is going to be very complex. We are only in incipient stage. We are actually just transitioned to second stage. We have not yet entered the second stage. Sorry. So this is going to be very complex, and places like Tarapur, Kalpakam, active whatever, and of course BRC and IGCAR, active research is going on in nuclear fuel cycles. But this is a very small thing. It has to be scaled up to a very large extent, and because as of now we will be able to run only one PFBR whenever it starts. I mean, that may also start one day. But the thorium breeding will require many tens of such fast breeder reactors, many times. So you can imagine the amount of fuel cycle facilities which need to be created, and before that very research needs to be carried out, arriving at the optimal values and optimal solutions for that. So and the one such thing of course is coming is the FRF, that is fast reactor fuel cycle facility, which is also of course under NRB at Kalpakam, BRC facilities Kalpakam. Now in this process, one important thing has to happen for this three-stage program to succeed, is that we have to be very miser in conserving the fissile mode. I mean, we just cannot afford to waste, because whatever, first of all, of course, PSWR is one of the, you can say, this option was selected because it produces maximum plutonium per unit mined uranium. That is, its yield is maximum. And hence it is very suitable for our three-stage program. But of course, don't be under impression that this is the only choice. This is one of the very good choice. Definitely, other light water reactors will also fit in. Second thing is, once we convert whatever spent fuel to plutonium, there probably the wastages are very small. Those cycles are, I think, very efficient. But fuel fabrication, again, there is a lot of wastage. So, of course, there are reject oxides, dirty reject oxides, clean reject oxides. One need to be very careful to recover whatever plutonium possible from that. Otherwise, because you see, in the first stage, we have a little extra. Only in order to utilize entire thorium, the thorium reserves, I believe, is roughly of the order of 1 million tons as of now. In order to reserve, we have to have little extra. But if we start, basically, do not conserve that during our fabrication processes, then that edge will be lost. That is very important. Similarly, we do not know what will happen in fast fuel recycle. That program is yet to begin. Only we know theoretical projections, assessments. No other country has done any large-scale such recycling, so that we can learn lessons from them. So that will be a very important threshold to work. So I will convey my best wishes to all the organizers of this symposium, and specifically I will suggest all young people should attend it very carefully, and such occasions are very rare. And it was very heartening to know that about 100 or 90 or 100 papers are being contributed. So people should try to derive maximum benefit. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. You have quite aptly addressed on the theme of this symposium, sir. Now I'll request Shri Sanjay Pradhan, sir, Deputy CNRB, Director GSO and Chairman of the Symposium Organizing Committee, to present a memento to our chief guest as a token of our gratitude. Thank you, sir. So in this 2 days symposium, we have, as Boisar has already told, we have a very bright galaxy of distinguished speakers almost from every DA unit. The theme and objective of the New Folk series of symposia was well explained by our convener as well by chief guest. The scientists and engineers from various units, they are participating. Physical participation is more than 200, sir, and maybe online participation may be above 100. Engineers and probably this is the excellent platform to exchange information and update yourself in the cutting edge technologies on the nuclear fuel cycle. And we are quite sure that the deliberations over these 2 days, they will be very, very fruitful, and there will be many take homes and learnings to the participants. With the time, the popularity of New Folk series of symposia is increasing, sir. It is evident from the overwhelming response of the contributory papers received. This time we have received above 94 or 95 papers, and this is 2 times more than the previous one, which was held in 2018. We'll have 17 invited talks, 8 oral presentations, and these are compiled in a e-souvenir and a compilation of nearly 286 pages, and it is loaded in the data storage devices in the conference kit bag. Now I privileged and honored to invite our chief guest and dignitaries on the dais to release the conference e-souvenir. Thank you very much, sir. Moving ahead, now I'll request Dr. Vineet Kumar Mittal, sir, Secretary T.A.P.S Tarapur chapter, to present a vote of thanks. Shri Vineet Kumar Mittal, sir.
Good morning all. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. I, on behalf of T.A.P.S Tarapur chapter, offer heartily thanks to all of you. I sincerely thank our chief guest Shri Vivek Bhasin, Director Nuclear Fuel Cycle, PRC, Mumbai, for kindly accepting our invitation and gracing the inaugural function despite of his busy schedule. Your words have truly encouraged and motivated us, and we will follow your valuable advices. I further pass my gratitude to our honorable guests on the dais, Shri Vineet Kumar Sharma, Site Director Tarapur, Shri Sanjay Pradhan, Deputy C, NRB, Shri U.D. Dhani, Executive Director Operation, NRB, Shri R.B. Bhatt, Executive Director, FF and QA, NRB. Your presence has added the honor to the conference, and special thanks to all the dignitaries who are attending the conference New Folk 2022 offline as well as online. I extend my sincere humble to Dae-Brns and other industry sponsors of this conference. Without their generous financial support, it would not have been possible to organize the conference. I am thankful to NPCIL Tarapur for providing venue place for the conference with the amenities as well as accommodation facility to our participants. I am grateful to our patron Shri K.N. Vyas and the entire National Advisory Board of New Folk 2022 for extended support. I would like to acknowledge to NRB and their management for valuable backing. I take this opportunity to thank all the members of Executive Committee of IANCAS Tarapur chapter for their constant support. Thanks to the entire Symposium Organizing Committee of NUFUC 2022 for providing their valuable time and tireless support to organize the conference. We will try to our best to work according to your expectations. Thanks a lot for appreciating us. I will end my speech here. Once again, thanks to the all participants for their gracious. Thank you.
Thank you, Mittal sir. Now I request all of the participants, delegates and dignitaries to please stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय
Thank you very much. Moving further, just after this inaugural session, we'll have a group photograph just at the entrance of this hall. And after the photograph, our chief guest will inaugurate the product exhibition gallery in the adjacent lawn. Among our proud exhibitors, we have today 11 exhibitors. I would like to take their names. Messrs. Lab India Analytical Instruments, Mumbai. Metatech Industries, Pune. Advanced Scientific Equipments, Mumbai. Metro Home India Private Limited. Push Enterprises, Mumbai. Metler Toledo India Private Limited, Mumbai. Kainsys, Mumbai. Ents Innovations, Mumbai. Global Nanotech, Mumbai. Indian Rubber Manufacturers Research Association, Thane. And Messrs. Home Technical Solutions. So, on the behalf of the organizing committee, that is the last part of this inaugural session, I welcome our product exhibitors also. Once again, I convey my welcome to all the participants, delegates of this symposium, and I wish all a grand success to this symposium. Just after the inauguration of the product exhibit gallery, we'll have a high tea program in the adjacent lawn. I further request all the participants to please reassemble sharply at 11 hours for the first technical session of this program. Thank you very much for your patience hearing. Thank you.